Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. Today we're going to do my 2025 goal update. These are going to be our numbers from the month of August. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I did create this goal tracker. You can find it in my Ko-Fi shop, which is linked in the description box below. It is just $1, and I did also today add a couple more of the 100 envelope coloring trackers. So I'm breaking down the 100 envelope savings into, I guess you could call it different buckets. So envelopes 1 through 20, 21 through 40, 41 through 60, and so on until you get to the 100 envelopes. That's how I'm saving for my month ahead. So those items are in my Ko-Fi shop. Also, they are free. I did just have the first part, envelopes 1 through 20 in there, but I went ahead and added part 2 and part 3 today. So I did see a few people got the part 1 already, so if you were one of those people who got part 1 and you need the other parts because you're able to save faster than me, which you know is completely amazing for you, but I was like, somebody probably needs the rest of these trackers, so I worked on a couple of them today and put them in the shop. So you can grab those there too, they're free. This goal tracker is $1, and then if you've seen my budgeting videos, I'm using a budget planner that I created. You can get the digital version of that in my Ko-Fi shop also. It is $10. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the numbers for the month of August. My first goal here is my 401k. I'm currently contributing 1% of my 401k. Or excuse me, 1% of my annual salary to my 401k. And since August was a magic month, I got paid 3 times, so I was able to put in $70.87. This is just my contribution, not my employer's match. So we are currently 47% of the way to our goal of $500 for the year. So for Brian's 401k, if you guys watched my debt update, I believe I told you in that video that Brian has turned on his contribution for 4% at his job. I do not have access to his 401k information. I have to ask him for his, contribution amounts because I don't have access to like look at it or manipulate it on my own. So I have nothing here for August. I believe he turned it on in August because his raise was in July. So I'm just going to let it ride for August and ask him in September what he ended up contributing, and hopefully he doesn't get annoyed with me asking him every month how much he contributed to his 401k. So moving on. Goal number 3 is our VyStar credit card. For August, we paid it twice because it was a very long month and the due date came around twice, so we paid $224 towards our VyStar credit card. So that gets us 77% of the way to our goal of $1,300 for the year. For our Avon card, we only paid $250 towards this in August. That gets us at 52% of the way to our goal of $2,448. Our Navy Federal card, this is the card that we paid off with our distribution from my 401k. So if you missed my debt update, you got to go back and watch it. I did take out $13,500 from my 401k to pay off this Navy Federal card. So between what I took out and what we paid out of our budget, we paid $14,050 towards this card. So we are at 100% of our goal amount, which was only $1,886 because we paid this card off in the month of August. For Christmas, we contributed $300 this month trying to play catch up because we didn't contribute anything in July. And we were trying to contribute $1,200 for the year, so we put $300 towards Christmas in August, and that gets us 75% of the way to our goal of $1,200. For our property taxes, we did contribute $120, so we are now at 74% of the way to our $1,300 goal. For our emergency fund, I am happy to say that we have fully funded our emergency fund. We put $240 in August. But when I made this goal of $2,212, it was before the end of 2024. Brian changed jobs in December of 2024, so we used all of our emergency fund trying to stay afloat between when he got his last paycheck at his last job and when he was going to get paid from his new job. So we did take all of our emergency fund out in December, but when the end of the month rolled around, we were able to put $190 back into our emergency fund. So I'm just going to add that here. So technically we have $2,241.50 in our emergency fund currently, if you count that $190 that we put in December, which we weren't anticipating doing. So it is over $2,000. Super excited about that. It feels really good to have $2,000. It's better than what we had before. So spoiler alert, my goal for next year is to add another $2,000 to it. So that would get us around the $4,200 mark. So I'm already working on my goals for 2026, figuring out what we're going to be able to do based on what we did this year. Let me know if you guys are that way. Like once it gets to like the fourth quarter, I am heavy into working on my goals, working on my annual budget, trying to figure out what we can make happen for the next year. I am a budget nerd. I love budgeting and playing around with the numbers, so I'm already working on that, and one of the goals that we have established is to add $2,000 to our emergency fund. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys next year. Moving on to our vacation goal. So for August, we saved $550 towards our vacation. So that put us 87% of the way to our $1,500 goal. Super excited to be going on vacation in October. Gonna do a vlog, like a pack with me, get ready with me, you know, type situation. Vlog a little bit while we're there, so I can share it with you guys when we get back from the trip. I'm super excited. The boys still don't know that we're going, so it's going to be quite the surprise for them, and I can't wait to see their little faces. Side hustle income. So for the month of August, we brought in $121.31 between egg sales, like an unexpected settlement check, maybe a refund. I can't remember exactly what. I didn't write down what the side hustle money was, but I remember we had a check of like $14 and some change that we got, and I know I sold eggs, so $121.31. And then I think a little bit of it was money from my Ko-fi shop too, so that could be some of it. Anyways, we're at 75% of the goal that we made to bring in $2,700 for the year. So I feel like we are pretty on track with all of our goals except for my 401k and Brian's 401k, only because I don't know what Brian's contributing, and I probably overestimated how much I'm going to contribute for the year. But aside from that, most of our goals are at 75% or complete. So the only one that's still around the 50% mark besides the 401ks is the Avon card. So not too worried about it though. As the end of the year pulls around, we will get it bumped up to where we need it to be to get it to 100%. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys are having a good month. I hope your goals are going well. We're getting ready to go into quarter 4, so if you feel like you need to pivot and restart your goals, change your goals to end the year strong, don't be afraid to do so. I know I've changed our goals, you know, a couple of times just based on what's going on with our lives, so there's nothing wrong with ending the year strong, feeling like you accomplished something regarding your finances. So if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.